Black Bullet episode 1 was released yesterday, which was April the 8th, and holy shit, I have to say that this series has started off on some epic shit. I have been reading about Black Bullet because a lot of that shit pops up on my YouTube stuff, and a lot of that shit is kind of like sent to me by people that follow me on Facebook, and people who are just general friends of mine. My buddy Bert has just said, hey, this is upcoming series and you should check it out, and I was just like, okay. And so I had been waiting for it to be released, and when I saw it I was just like, okay, it's time to watch. And I watched it and I was not disappointed. I actually looked on an anime database website to see what the ratings were for episode 1, and it was a 10. It was a flat out 10 as voted on, but I think at the time it was like 20 people. So that's a lot, though. The fact that 20 people all said, yeah, let's click that 10 button. So, it was awesome, man. I like the art style is just fucking amazing. I can't lie about that shit. Like, I can tell they spent a lot of time working on animation. That was awesome. That shit is awesome, man. Even the Gastrea, like the way that the Gastrea looks, is like it fits in with the scheme of the anime because it's so well animated. But let's just go ahead and get into a review of episode 1. The episode opens up in a sea. It's revealed to be like a Tokyo area, the greater Tokyo area, and it is kind of like ablaze and asunder, and it's just real fucked up. Even the sky itself looks like it's on fire, which is brilliantly done. As I looked at that, I was like, wow, even the sky is reflecting an orange on fire color. That was awesome. And you see little Rentaro, the main character, Rentaro Satomi, and he's just within a crowd of people, and he's just looking afraid, and he looks very terrified. And in the air, you see jets just scramble, just flying over, and the jets are like going after something which we don't see, but then it's later revealed to be a Gastrea, and the Gastrea is like this giant bird monster thing, you know what I'm saying? It just looks real weird, and it's flying all over the place sporadically, and the jets trying to shoot it down, man, and the jets kind of get taken out and shit. But before that, they actually do manage to like fuck it up a bit, and it falls to the ground. And the angle was awesome because like Rentaro was just kind of sitting there like looking afraid because he's stunned, he can't move, and the Gastrea is falling towards him. I was like, okay, this is gonna be some symbolic type of shit probably, right? And then the people start running away, and they're just kind of like, hey, fuck humanity, let me just save myself, and they knock Rentaro down. And I'm actually glad that he wasn't stomped to death, because the whole time I was thinking like, he's probably gonna get stomped, like somebody probably gonna step on this motherfucker and that's gonna be the end of it. But no, he survives, and he looks up and the fucking Gastrea is right there, and he's real scared, and then a voice rings in his head to say, Rentaro, if you don't want to die, pretty much you gotta move forward, you gotta stand up for yourself and all that type of shit. And he has a mean look on his face, and then it cuts into the intro. And the intro, I think they took a page from the book of Attack on Titan, because you have the sound in the background, but then it's a woman singing, and it's a nice intro. I like the intro. I really did like the intro. I hope that doesn't end up being the outro on some weird shit, you know what I'm saying? Because they kind of do that in anime on the first episode. They'll play the outro as the intro, and then it won't be an outro. So, but I liked it though. It was real cool, man. The cinematic itself was cool. You know, various poses of Rentaro with his gun, various poses of Enju, just standing around doing her thing. You know, so it was real cool. And after this, it's shown that there is a Gastrea like held up in this apartment, and Rentaro is sent to take care of the problem because he's a promoter. So he's sent to take care of the problem or whatever. And the guy who he was kind of like talking to and working with, he was kind of a dick. He was kind of like being an asshole for some odd reason. Like, as he was talking to him, I'm just like, dude, if he's here to help, what's the fucking big deal? He was like the local police chief, and he was kind of being an ass. He was like, oh, I've never heard of this company, the Tendo Civil Agents or Civil Service Company. I never heard of this shit. So, and Rentaro snatched the car away. He's like, listen, man, I'm here to help you. Where is it? And the guy's like, you know, where's your initiator? I don't see your initiator. And then like, it's kind of funny because like they didn't show it right away, but you see like Rentaro is riding a bike, and it's like implied that she kind of fell off of it, and he just kept going. So I was like, okay, this shit gonna have some kind of comical elements to it. It's gonna be kind of funny, right? Like when I saw it, I was like, that's kind of funny. And he gets there or whatever, and there's some police officers outside, and the guys are like, hey, 2 of our guys heard some shit. They went inside. We haven't heard from them since. And Rentaro goes in. You know, he has his gun. He goes in, and it's just a massacre in that room. I mean, I'm talking about like nasty, meat, disgusting, bloody heaps of humans on the wall. I had no idea that it was gonna be like this per se. I didn't know that it was gonna be like that graphic. I love it though, you know what I'm saying? Like I loved it. I was like, wow, that's just blood and guts and brains all on that wall. That is awesome. And it's a guy in there with a mask on, you know what I'm saying, and like this weird outfit on, and a hat. And Rentaro was like, are you one of us? And the guy's like, nah, I'm not one of y'all. I did kill the Gastrea that was in here, but no, I'm not one of y'all. But the person who killed these 2 people is me. It's the same person right here. And Rentaro goes to attack him, and this guy is just like fucking him up. Now, Rentaro, I will admit, is fast as shit. He is fast as shit though, with his punches and his kicks. He's fast as hell. But this guy was just on a whole nother level, you know what I'm saying, of being like awesome. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And then it kind of cuts over, and you see Enju walking around mad that Rentaro has left her like to her own devices and shit. And then, well, sorry, before that, the guy is on the phone. That guy with the mask on is on the phone, and the people come into the apartment. The police people come into the apartment, and he kind of fucks them up too. And he's on the phone talking to somebody. And Rentaro gets to jump on him, and he kicks him, and the guy's head spins around. Like, he kicks him so hard, his head turns in the opposite direction. It does a complete 180, right? And the guy fucking grabs his head and pushes it back like that, just pushes it back. And then she was, and so whoever that was on the phone was like, what was that? And he was like, oh, that was nothing. I was like, this is the best guy ever. This guy is the best guy ever. Hands down, there's never going to be another guy like that. I don't even know who this guy is, but that was badass. To get your head kicked around and just like, yeah, that was shit, don't even worry about it. And then he was like, you better than I thought. I didn't even think he was going to manage to get one hit on me. But you did, you better than I thought. He goes out of a window, and then Rentaro's like, wait, who are you? What's your name? Who are you? And then the guy was like, I am the one. I am the one who is going to destroy like everything. The one who's going to bring the destruction of the world, or some shit like that. And then he was like, and no one can stop me. And I kind of zoom in on his eyes, and he got these creepy golden yellowish type of eyes, and they like real like he looks in an ominous kind of menacing way like that, like he kind of squints him or whatever. And I was just like, whoa, like I don't know who this guy is, but he said he's the one who's going to destroy everything. So I'm going to call him Chaos for now. I'm going to call him the Destroyer for now. I'm going to call him Satan for now, because that guy is just, right now it seems like he's pure bad guy. I mean, that dude is just on some ridiculous shit right now. That was awesome to me. That was awesome. But back to the Enju thing. She's in town, and there's a guy. He's all bloody, and he looks all fucked up. And he's like, Miss, please, can you tell me where I am? Or some shit. You know, he asks her a question, and she's like, whoa, you don't know what's happening to you right now? You don't know what's going on with you right now? And she was like, yeah, like the Gastrea came, and it must have did something to you, and now you've been infected with this virus, so you're gonna slowly lose your humanity and turn into a beast. And I was just like, what? And the guy just like falls down, and you know, the guy just falls down, and the Gastrea virus takes over his body, and there's like spider tentacles coming out of his back, and you know, he's asking her to help, and I'm just like, really, dude? Like, what the fuck can she do? You know what I'm saying? Like, she can't do shit for you, right? And spider tentacles come out of his back, and I said spider tentacles, spider legs come out of his back, and he turns into a Gastrea, like a giant spider thing, and she's there or whatever, and that police officer dude comes out of nowhere or whatever, and he tries to like shoot with regular bullets, and Rentaro moves him out of the way, and the guy's like, what are you doing? And he's like, listen, regular bullets not gonna work on it because it can just regenerate. And Rentaro pulls out his gun, and he shoots at it, and it like leaves this giant ass crater thing in him, and it really hurts the fucking the Gastrea. And the guy's like, what is that or whatever? That must be Varanium, and Varanium is like this metal shit that the Gastrea don't like. Like, they don't like it. That keeps them away. They do not like that shit. And then he's like, Enju, you know, are you okay? And she's like, how can you leave me? He was like, that was inevitable. And then he's like, listen, we gotta take care of this. It's like she kicks the fuck out of this fucking, this Gastrea. Like, her eyes turn red and they glow, and she just kicks it. Like, she literally kicks through it, and it just like into like a pile of gooey, purple, yellow nastiness or whatever. And then she's like, listen, the sale is on, and then they leave comically. It was the funniest shit ever, because they just kind of ran away. Like, it was ridiculous. They just ran away. Like, after that entire battle sequence of it being epic as fuck and people bleeding and you see blood coming out of everyone, they just leave comically. And then the guy's talking, he's like, hey, this is the Varanium. And then he starts talking about Enju, and he's like, these are the cursed children? And I was like, cursed children? What does that mean? And apparently these kids have powers that can aid in killing Gastrea or whatever. And it cuts over to the agency, and Rentaro was getting chewed out by Kisara Tendo, who is the owner and leader of the organization. And yeah, she's ripping him a new asshole because he left so early. He didn't get a chance to receive any compensation for his work, and he kind of fucked up the area. He left bullets at the scene of the crime and all that type of shit. And most importantly, she's upset because he did not tell her about the sale. She missed out on the sale too. He bought a bunch of bean sprouts, and she missed out on it, and she's pissed off. And apparently they're childhood friends and all that type of stuff. And she brings up something about his parents, which he did not like. He just kind of left. And he was like, I'll walk you home. And she was like, no, I gotta go to the hospital to get some treatment. And I looked up the medicine that she said. Apparently that's a diabetic treatment, so I'm assuming she has diabetes. That's weird to me. Usually in anime, they usually have like weird diseases, you know what I'm saying, that kind of hold them down. Or if it's some disease that they never name, you know what I'm saying, that holds them down. But she has diabetes, which is a quite common one. Just like in Bleach, like Joshiro Ukitake has like tuberculosis. It's like, it's weird. But after this, the serious part of it ends with that fight with the Gastrea, and after this it just shows Rentaro and Enju in their daily lives, and Enju is at Rentaro's house, and she's like in a tower, and she's smitten with this guy, and she's talking about they're partners, and they've made a pact and a contract with one another, and they're lovers, and she kisses him and all that type of stuff. But she's like a little girl though, so it's weird as shit, right? And Rentaro's like, listen, go put on some pants, and don't stop coming over here with a towel on, and he cooks for her. And then after she's done eating, she's like, yeah, you know what time it is now, right? And he's like, yep, good night. He just walks away, and she sneaks into his bed, and she breaks all his shit. She's like, how could you leave, you know, a woman like this, and all that type of stuff. And they wake up, and he's taking her to school, and I think she's in elementary school. That would sound about right. She's in elementary school. And then he leaves her there, but before he leaves, she's like, listen, you gotta remember, she's like, don't worry, no one knows who I really am. No one knows that I'm an initiator, that I'm one of the cursed children, so there's nothing for you to worry about. And she pulls it off. Like, she has friends there, and she's talking in a weird way, but talking regular to people. And he leaves with a smile on his face, but as she walks away, his smile disappears, and it's kind of replaced by a somber look. And he goes to where like the end of this bridge was, and he starts to reflect on stuff. And he's like, they called it the cursed children because their parents were born. I mean, their parents had the virus or whatever, and it went into like the embryo where the kids were. They had the Gastrea virus, and it went into where the kids were. And these kids are born with like the regenerative factor and just weird powers that the Gastrea have as well. And these kids are like humanity's only hope to like combat these Gastrea, but humans don't accept them as humans. I don't know if Rentaro does, but he seems like he accepts her for who she is, that he talks to her regularly, but other people might not accept her for who she is or whatever, and he reflects about this type of stuff. And apparently they put these giant like statue things, monoliths is what they call them. Yeah, they put these giant monolith things up, and they're made out of the same material that his bullet was made out of, and those kind of keep the Gastrea like at bay or whatever for the time being, unless it's one that has an outbreak that's made in the city or whatever. And that's how the episode ends. We introduced to a few characters, like it was a woman who was kind of there. I think she kind of like ruled the area or something like that. What was her name? Sinteshi or something like that. It was something that began with an S, and it was a guy who was standing right there too. Who, when Rentaro saw his face, he kind of frowned. So he apparently had some type of beef with this guy or whatever. And there was a doctor who we were introduced to. She has an obsession with dead bodies. So again, you know, Attack on Titan. But yeah, she has some obsession with the bodies and all that type of shit. She analyzes them and all that type of stuff, and she helps cure the outbreak and all that type of stuff, man. And overall, this series was awesome. But there is a theme in this series that I want everybody to like pay attention to. Right now, it's being suggested that Rentaro Satomi is weak and that he is worthless, and that it is pretty much Enju who is doing everything. And it's kind of shown that way in this episode. Like he kind of freaks out about stuff, and he like didn't really kill that Gastrea. She did. He shot it enough to stop it, but she's the one who actually killed it. So pay attention to that, because it's obviously not going to be true. He's the main character. He's obviously not going to be weak. I'm not saying he's going to be the strongest guy ever, but he's not going to be as weak as they think he is. I already know that. You probably already know that. But overall, man, this episode, man, is beautiful. The music is awesome. The comedy is golden. It is right there, especially because they don't sing like it should be comedic, but it is. The action, second to none. Second to none. Hands down, great. Hands down, it was great. It was just a great fucking episode. What a way to start off a series. I mean, what a fucking way. Hella awesome. I highly recommend it. Fashion Stampede signing out. Can't wait for episode 2. Let me know if you watched it. Let me know what you think about Black Bullet. And again, signing out.